Hello, everybody. I'm here with Margot Windenburg, the Senior Sales Manager of North America for AAT Kings. Margot, thank you so much for jumping on here and talking to me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So I have a lot to ask about AAT Kings and about Australia and New Zealand in particular. First, I just want to ask you, I know advisors have clients who want to get over there. What are some of your favorite destinations in Australia and New Zealand?
Some of my favorite destinations are Kangaroo Island off in South Australia, off the south coast there. Kangaroo Island, it's rich in nature and wildlife and some really unique experiences. And then the top end of Australia, Darwin, Kakadu, Catherine Gorge, really amazing Aboriginal culture and heritage and history up in that region, as well as the nature and wildlife, of course. And then the Red Center of Australia also is just a really magical place. Some of my favorite places in New Zealand are Queenstown and Napier is another one. Napier is a really cool city. It was destroyed in an earthquake in 1931 and rebuilt. And then Queenstown is the adventure capital of New Zealand.
All right, awesome. Yeah, I know there's such a depth of experiences you can have in those destinations. I know I've heard so many great things about both destinations. I've heard so many things about advisors talking about the demand from their clients for Australia and New Zealand. I'm just curious, like personally, what kind of travel is most popular in this region? I know it's a big adventure travel destination, both islands, but what is it just sort of an all-encompassing place you can go and have a variety of experiences?
There's a few different ways that you could do it. So a lot of people want to see both Australia and New Zealand on their trip when they're traveling from North America. However, however, you need to make sure that you give each country justice when you're traveling. They're both standalone destinations. You could see each of them. I mean, you could take 2 or 3 weeks seeing each of them if you want to. And then, but there's also some really unique regional places that you could visit. Like if you want to see the west coast of Australia, or just Tasmania, or just the top end of Australia, there's so many different things that you could do there. And same with New Zealand. A lot of people just travel there and just want to see the South Island, for example, and spend 2 weeks there, or just the North Island. There's a lot of different ways you could do it.
Okay, so I want to ask specifically about AAT Kings and Inspiring Journeys right now. I know a new season of tours was just launched. Hoping you could share some of the highlights. I know it's a big catalog, but for travel advisors who might want to be aware or want to get up to date, any highlights you want to point out?
Um, yeah. So one of the interesting things that we have started including in our tours is a trip to Mimby Caves. This is on our Wonders of Kimberley and the West Coast. The Kimberleys have become a really popular region up in Australia. And Mimby Caves, it's a 350 million year old Great Barrier Reef that you can explore. And a lot of Aboriginal culture and history and heritage up there, but mainly it's for that 350 million year old Great Barrier Reef that you visit there in the caves. Really cool, unique experience. And we have some new experiences in our Tasmania, on our Tasmania tours, visiting Bridestow Lavender Estate, which you can see behind me. On Kangaroo Island, the Emu Ridge eucalyptus tour is on our 5 day remarkable Adelaide to Kangaroo Island trip. And if Kangaroo Island had a taste and smell, this would be it. It's a really unique place. You could buy a lot of lotions and potions and explore everything that they have to offer. It's got some really unique experiences.
Yeah. So the Kimberleys you've mentioned are a big destination. That's sort of one of the twin destinations. And
Yeah.
that time period, the 350 million years, like that just seems like so I couldn't even comprehend that in my mind how old something like that would be. So I'm
It's,
sure, yeah.
yeah, really crazy of seeing all the fossils and everything else that are there. Really, really interesting experience.
So I know advisors, my readers, my audience specifically like to know also about training programs. I know AAT Kings has its own training program called A-Listers. I was hoping you'd tell us a little bit about that, a little bit about where advisors might be able to find information for that as well.
Yeah, definitely. So you could visit it aatkings.com on our website. If you do a search for aatkings.com A-listers, you'll be able to pull up more information about the program. This is a really cool program. We launched it a few months ago. It's our agent training program, and it's a podcast series. It's available on Spotify or Apple Music. Again, if you just do the search for AAT Kings A-listers, you'll be able to find it. We have 21 episodes in the series. We've partnered with a lot of people like Tourism Tourism Australia, Tourism New Zealand. I'm featured in an episode. Our CEO has just launched a new podcast talking about our new season of tours. And they're all about 5 to 20 minutes in length, really fun, really easy to listen to.
Cool.
And a lot of it's really exciting. And then agents can complete the quizzes associated with the podcast, and they can earn a greater discount on their own travel when they're ready to travel to Australia and New Zealand.
All right, awesome. Yeah, I know that would be great for the advisors listening as they book. They can put that podcast on, and that'll help them even talk to their clients a little bit about this too. What about booking AAT Kings in particular? Like I know it's Australia and New Zealand, and I know your title is Senior Sales Manager North America, but do you have a U.S. based reservations team, a U.S. based office, anything like that you can share with us?
Yeah, so one of the great things about us is that we do have a US based reservations team. We're on the West Coast, and we're available anytime 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. West Coast time. And it's great because you could just give us a call. We could help you select the best tour for your clients if you're unsure, if you're not as familiar with Australia and New Zealand. We are very well versed in the destination. We live and breathe it. So just you could give us a call, send us an email at reservations@aatkings.com, and we can help you out there. Another thing too is that AAT Kings was also recently added to the Travel Corporation single sign-on, the travel agent portal. And so you can access all of our product and book us there too. Most of you agents will already have a sign-on there.
Right, awesome. Yeah, I know there's always every year there's a set of training destinations. I do have a feeling that the time is coming for Australia and New Zealand. It seems like we've had this return to a lot of these Southeast Asian countries, and Europe obviously had the big return last summer post COVID. It does seem like Australia and New Zealand will become the training destination soon from where I'm sitting. I mean, Margot, is that something you're like when you talk to clients, when you talk to advisors, are you hearing about people who want to see these regions for the first time, reaching out to companies like AAT Kings?
Yeah, there's definitely been a big uptick in requests and people looking to travel there, especially later in the year as we're starting to approach high season. People really want to visit those destinations. It's warmer, get out of the cold here during winter, and go enjoy some sun and fun down there.
Yeah, I have a cousin living in Australia, and every winter I can look outside, see the snow or the darkness here, and I see on Instagram she's at the beach enjoying
Isn't it the
herself.
way it
So,
is?
yeah, very
Yeah.
jealous. Margot, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. We'll drop all the links anytime any people want to go to the AAT Kings website, they can get that below. But I really appreciate your insights, Margot, and it's great. It's great to be in touch.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been great. I appreciate it.
Awesome.